Hi, this is Money Mike, and I am not happy about what just Biden said about the electric vehicle industry. And in this video, I will explain why Biden just said what he said and why it matters to any EV stock. So if you are in EV market like I am, these are my two biggest positions. This is Tesla and this is Hyliion. They make a big chunk of my portfolio. And what Biden just said is not having a good impact on one of them. So let's go through it together and find out what is it all about. In short, Biden confirmed on Saturday his intention to build 500,000 new electric vehicle charging stations by 2030, adding to current 90,000 charging plugs in the country. And he said, quote, "Just like we needed to be a unified nation to respond COVID-19, we need unified nation response to climate change." He said he will prioritize environmental justice and restore the regulations that President Trump rolled back. He also said, and wait just a second before I will get to the point, climate policy is expected to play a critical role in Biden administration. He also highlighted the role of Mrs. Granholm, the former Michigan governor, who is credited with getting the state's first renewable energy portfolio out there, and also to work with auto industry to develop electric vehicles. Remember the name Mrs. Granholm. I will talk about Mrs. Granholm in just a second. So while all this news is great for Tesla because they can think less and invest less in infrastructure, it is still kind of sad. Because this is, in my opinion, a bad news for Hyliion, whose primary goal is to use RNG in their powertrain solutions. Not because it is their competition who is getting advantage. I think there is a plenty room for both companies to succeed. Where I see a big problem is that I don't see the support of the government for RNG, and if there is any, then I just don't see the publicity about that. And I think this is crucial to make awareness so the companies could be confident about this technology and about investing in this kind of a sphere. My main objection is that I don't think that the EV market needs help. There are private companies that will naturally grow with the demand on both sides. They needed help in 2018 and 2019, where little people believed in this type of a technology. But in 2020, the whole stock market understood the power of EV companies, and all those companies are now more than well funded to pull this through. Where I think there is a little awareness about RNG, which is clearly more beneficial to the environment. And this is where I think the government should step in and decide for the people. But they obviously don't believe that. And I know that there is more money invested in RNG than ever, in 2020, but without awareness, the support of the government, I'm worried that this will be just forgotten technology that, for some unknown reason, didn't find their demand. And I don't know how about you, but I start to feel like there's something fishy. The politics' new favorite toy is EV because electric vehicles are the new hot topic. Do you know what is not hot topic to talk about? RNG. Let's come back to Mrs. Granholm, who is going to play a huge role in how the government will influence the whole market of renewable energy. Mr. Biden selected Mrs. Granholm to be energy secretary in his climate team. So she's obviously a super important person. Now, Mrs. Granholm is a big fan of solar and wind energy. And that is a problem in my opinion. Mrs. Granholm is as well on the board of Proterra, a Californian-based electric bus manufacturer who came from SPAC, which I see as a huge problem again. Speaking of the problem, I mean the RNG sector. Obviously, EV companies will benefit from all of this. Here's her comment about RNG answering the question on fossil fuels. So the Transit California asked, "Energy is an area of keen interest to you. When do you predict renewable energy will be more economical than fossil fuels?" And Jennifer Granholm answered, "I see it today. Installed wind power today is cheaper than stuff powered by coal or even natural gas. In many cases, the price of natural gas having bumped up a bit. When you think about it, wind is free and sun is free. It is just a question of how you get the technology in the ground and how you pay for those upfront costs of the turbines and solar panels. But the cost of solar, the cost of batteries to store energy, and the cost of wind has dropped so dramatically in the first decade of the century that the that today it is cheaper than fossil fuels. So obviously she's not a huge fan of RNG. Imagine what it would have to take for a person that has a strong conviction in wind and solar to push investments to another sectors. Also, the person who is involved in an EV company, Proterra. So while this all makes me happy about Tesla, I don't think Tesla needed all this. And it kind of makes me sad because it is a strong message for RNG. RNG is currently in the shadows of EV, and in my personal opinion, it should be talked about more. Okay, what are you saying, Money Mike? What does it mean, are you selling Hyliion? No, I'm not selling Hyliion, but I will go deeper on this topic of why RNG doesn't have equal support from the government. Because if I will have a strong conviction RNG will not be supported from the government, then I will eventually lose my interest to invest in this sector. I invest only in a strong growing sectors where I am a step ahead. There is a difference, between government's ignorance that obviously could not last that long and potential bribery, which it could just last forever. Let me know about what you think. By the way, I'm about to post a huge video about spec warrants, so make sure that you subscribe and don't miss it. See you guys as always next time.